I'd like to thank Grover Crisp at Sony for getting us this print, which we thought we were going to have to run on DVD, but we didn't. And I'd like to introduce one of the stars of the film, Mr. John Saxon.
You guys are going to have to do the talking. I'm kind of speechless, really. I'm not kidding. I mean, well, first of all, there's one little interesting thing. My fiance just said, well, I said, I don't know what to say. She said, well, tell them what you said on the set with each other. Well, the fact was that Richard Brooks gave everybody just their part. So we would walk around and say, so are you with me, or? And what else? I don't know. Oh, well, I'll take it from the beginning to the end. The end being, I knew the people who were the publicists. I think this was shot at Columbia.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And it was a woman I knew and so she said, I don't know. Nobody knows what to do with this. I mean, it's just too far out, you know. And that's what happened for all these years. I mean, it was made in, what, 82 or 82. And all of you who raised your hands had not seen it before, is that right? Yes. Yeah, well, it got buried. I mean, literally buried. Hidden, maybe. I don't know.
And I saw this picture when it was new, and I remember being bewildered, basically, by it. And I didn't really give much thought to it until I happened to see it again a couple of years ago after all these things had happened. And the idea of, you know, the picture climaxing with bombs at the World Trade Center, and the confluence of stuff just seemed to be kind of astonishing to me. And so I've spent I don't know, the last 2 years trying to talk people into getting the DVD and watching it, because it's, you know, it's a really fascinating unknown movie.
This was a novel, wasn't it?
Yes, Charles McGarry.
Charles McGarry. I don't know the guy's name, but Richard Brooks was pretty interesting, as I can indicate, but you know, he didn't want anybody, and this was not only with this film. He had another film going that I forget who wrote it, and it started with a guy sitting on the toilet and realizing that it was, if he got up, it was bomb. So he had to just sit there, and that was the premise. It was a novel. I think, I'm not sure whose it was.
Elmore Leonard?
Yeah, it was Elmore Leonard. That's right. That's it.
Now, this was his next to last picture, and you were in both this and his last.
The last, yeah, which was I forget what it was called. It was about heat something, or it was about gambling and
Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch, yeah. But you know, I mean, it's a satire, but wow, a satire that's come through, you know. So. It is hard to say much more about it. I mean, the laughs are there all the way. I mean, the performances had a sort of a tongue-in-cheek quality. I mean, the lines were that way, so it was a good experience working. Yeah.
So, any questions? There's one.
Of all the Italian directors you worked with, which one was your favorite?
I thought we were going to talk about Wrong is Right. Well, since you asked, favorite? Well, I worked with Mario Bava. I worked with who else? Enzo Castellari and what's the guy's name who did the Dario Argento. Listen, I'm tired. Dario Argento, yeah. Those guys, I suppose, were the most important, or you know, figures, and the ones I worked with. Yeah. They were all different personalities too.
Well, my favorite John Saxon performance is in The Appaloosa. where he plays a guy named Chewy, Mexican, and he holds his own with Marlon Brando. And it's a terrific performance. Occasionally they run it on TCM. Definitely worth tracking down.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
I just recently watched Enter the Dragon, and I gotta go there. How was it working with Bruce Lee? Gotta go there.
Whenever I hear the words, what was it like? I think of a dream I had about 20 years ago, where I was in Hollywood, early morning, nobody around, nothing. I was walking my car to a parking lot. There was no other cars in the parking lot. There was only one street lamp outside that shone some light on it. So I got to my car, took out the keys, and a guy jumps up from behind the car and says, "Give me those keys off." Man, you're John Saxon. What was it like working with Bruce?